With that said, I just want to welcome everybody and say happy Earth Day. And I'm excited. Jamar has made a relevant recipe for Earth Day, these healthy Earth Tempeh tacos. And I'm just going to kick it on over to him. And thank you, everybody, for coming to Community Cooking with the Co-ops, starring Jamar.
Hi. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Co-op Cooking with Community. Now, today's Earth Day, and it's one of those things where it's like, okay, we're cooking on Earth Day. We have to make it fun. Well, we get to make it fun. And what better way than making like out of the ordinary tacos, you know, with a lot of flavor. And so creating a recipe where it is collards as the taco shells. And I know a lot of folks were like, well, how is this going to be a taco? You know? And then we are going to have tempeh, we have green onions, red bell peppers, some tomatoes, onions, mushrooms, zucchini. It's going to be really delicious. So first, let's start prepping our onions because that's what's going into our pot first.
And I just wanted to remind everybody, Jamar, feel free to either respectfully unmute if you have questions or put them in the chat and I'll feed them to Jamar. Go ahead.
Okay, so typically all of y'all are already like well known with this, but does anyone need time for prepping? Okay.
Joanne?
That works. So this is a no chef left behind situation, okay? So if you are running behind or you need us to slow it down, please say something and we'll pause, okay?
We're not leaving till you've finished your meal. Well, we're not going to watch you eat, but till you've completed it.
So the first thing to prep is the onion. So the recipe calls for 1 sweet onion, and so the onion is going to be used in also like the topping that is going to be tomatoes, onions, and then the filling, which is going to be tempeh, onions, bell peppers, and things like that. So we're gonna, once you use one onion, you're gonna divide it equally. And then as far as the red bell pepper, I used 1 whole red bell pepper, but I love red bell peppers, so I was eating them while I was prepping them. And so I actually have, I have a cup of red bell pepper, diced red bell peppers. And also, if you want to go ahead and start, good job.
Awesome.
And so if you want to go ahead and start heating your pot up, I'm using this pot first, and I'm going to coat the bottom in olive oil. So once that pan gets a little hot, and I have it on medium heat as well. I'm going to first saute my onions first to build the base.
Did you say medium heat?
Yeah, medium heat.
Cool.
You don't want the pan to get too hot. You want it to be just perfect.
Excellent.
So I always start in the middle and then I raise it up a little bit.
Don't want to burn anything.
No. Take your time. Okay. It's so, I have to at least, because it's weird cooking in a quiet kitchen. So I'm like, I wanted to make sure everyone can hear me right. So I was like, okay, no music today, Jamar. But I had to cut on a little bit. So with my onions, they're already prepped and I have them divided. So I'm going to add those first into my hot pan. Now, when I'm adding them, I'm going to let those saute first. And then what I'm going to do is, after those saute, I'm going to start adding my tempeh.
Okay.
Now, what I use is, I use Surata original soy, but the Surata actually comes in multigrain as well. So if you can diversify this and make it your own, that's the one thing about recipes that I look at. I color outside of the lines, so I need to like be able to look at a recipe and say, okay, I like this, but I may have to change this. You know, definitely do not stick to anything when it comes to recipes. So I am cubing the Surata tempeh up, and I'll show you how small I did.
All right. Little cubes.
Mhm. And I don't know, for me, whenever I cook with bell peppers, just cutting the bell peppers and smelling them are just really good. And this is like a veggie packed taco, basically.
Nice.
Mhm. So my onions are sauteing. I'm gonna go ahead and add my tempeh.
So if your onions are sauteed, add your tempeh, right?
Yeah, and then just let those cook for a little bit before we add something else. The thing about it is because we're working with a lot of veggies, you don't want to overcrowd your pan. So first start with sauteing the onions. Then we're gonna move into, okay, now they're sauteed. I'm gonna add the tempeh over into it. There's no rush.
No
Um,
hurry. And are you still on medium heat?
yes, I'm still on medium heat. And so whenever you add things to a pot, sometimes the temperature will go down a little bit. If you feel like your temperature is dropping, you can always go up a little bit. You don't want to cook it on high heat. Just want to let it take its time.
Cool.
So has everybody, so the next thing, I know someone was saying that they need time to actually prep. So the next thing that you would want to prep would be the bell peppers. Now I'm using a cup of bell peppers. I don't know if y'all have those diced already.
Joanne, Steve, do you guys have a cup of chopped bell peppers ready? They're moving kind of slow. Uh-oh. They're kind of breaking up.
Okay. Maybe you want to type in the
Somebody asked if the bell peppers are divided as well.
no. I did just a cup of bell peppers. I ate a couple, so I didn't have a chance to use, but you
Don't eat your whole recipe though.
no. I love vegetables. I mean, that is just my jam. So I'm always I mean, whenever I'm cooking with them, I'm eating them as well. So I got 1 cup of bell peppers. The next thing is the 3 cremini mushrooms.
Jamar,
So
can you hold 1 second? Somebody just logged on. Cynthia, are you cooking along? Do you want us to catch you up real quick?
No, I'm not cooking. I'm just.
Okay. Thanks for joining us. No problem.
welcome, Cynthia.
Go for it, man.
So as far as the mushrooms, sometimes if you're eating with your eyes, especially if you're shopping hungry, you can end up getting way too many mushrooms because once you prep them and you cut them, they end up making a lot. I sliced up 3 big buttons and I ended up making up to 1 cup. But I figured not overwhelming the tacos with a whole bunch of mushrooms. So I am doing a cup of mushrooms, and then as far as the squash, well, I did 1 cup to a cup and a half. If you're depending on how many people you're cooking for and how many leaves, you can reduce the cups. So say for instance, like with zucchinis, they're gonna cook down anyways whenever they have heat. So you're gonna have way less than what you started out with. So if you want to reduce that and then up the mushrooms, feel free. What I'm doing is I'm doing a cup of mushrooms and then a cup of squash.
All right. Cup of mushrooms and a cup of squash.
Mhm. As for its prepping, now my tempeh has been sauteing. Ooh, has been sauteing. Now I'm gonna start adding my bell peppers that I prepped.
How do we know it's time for the bell peppers?
So Once you'll start seeing that the onions start getting a little translucent, your tempeh starts getting a little browner. It almost looks like the tempeh has life to it.
Nice. It's alive.
Yes, it is alive. Okay. And if you feel like if your pot, because we only put a little bit of olive oil in it to coat the bottom, if you feel like your pot is dry and it's sticking, you can feel free to add a little bit more olive oil.
Cool.
When it comes to adding olive oil, sometimes it's good to measure so that way you don't have a lot. So I'm gonna put just a tablespoon.
Good idea.
Okay.
Stacy wants to know, how do you cut mushrooms?
So how I slice my mushrooms is I cut them in half. So this is how it looks when you cut it in half.
You see that, Stacy?
What I do is I lay them down.
Cool.
And I start from this side and I slice over. So the end result will be this.
Ah, all right. Nice thin slices.
Hi, Wendy.
Hey, Wendy.
Hi.
I like your spring background today.
Oh, thank you.
Happy
Yeah,
Earth
my
Day.
garden's really going crazy. Oh, happy Earth Day to everyone. Oh, yeah. Gosh. So exciting.
Thank you. So now I'm going to add my mushrooms.
Okay.
So far in my pot, I have my onions first. Well, olive oil first. Then I have my onions. Then I added my tempeh, my diced tempeh, and now I have red bell peppers in there. And now I'm adding the mushrooms.
Okay.
Oh, good job, Jamie.
Yes, love that
Adding
view.
the mushrooms. And I'm going to let those just marry.
You're gonna let them what?
I'm gonna let everything marry. Conjoin.
I thought that's what you said.
Carry him off.
It's my accent.
No, I got your accent down.
Oh, you do? Okay. Sometimes I'm like, well, did I really say that like that? Hey! Now, so I have diced my onions, my green onions, because the recipe calls for green onions as well. And it
Okay.
calls for a half a cup, and I sliced them pretty small.
Oh yeah. Great.
So I'm gonna add those to them. The
Add
thing
your
is,
green onions.
we're not cooking everything in the vegetables all the way down to where they're just become, we still want some texture. We still want to be able to like taste them. So we want to take our time as far as cooking them, but we're not trying to overcook them as well.
We don't want soup in our tacos.
No. So I'm adding my green onions, giving it a stir.
Nice.
Okay. Now I need to let those cook for a little bit, and then I am going to.
Just checking, the zucchini is not in, is that right?
Yeah, the zucchini is not in because it typically cooks really quick, and we want to at least have some crunch in our tacos.
Good question. And we're hoping next month you guys will actually be able to see in that pot, right, Jamar?
Yes, we are stepping up our studio quality. Fingers crossed, everything goes as planned. You'll be able to see me like chop and those things. I know it is definitely something that needs to happen, and we've been trying to like figure out how to actually improve our quality. So I think we're headed in the right direction, and it's really cool because we're coming up to a year.
Yep.
a year of doing these classes, so it's pretty awesome.
Thanks to all of you.
I think that we may need to bake a birthday cake. No, we'll have to have some type of celebration.
Yeah. Maybe we can have a big celebration at the library when it's safe.
Yes.
And we can all just eat together.
Yes.
What a concept.
Co-op style, we're definitely having a potluck. Okay, so now everything is cooking. Everything looks really, really good. The mushrooms are not overly cooked. Now I'm gonna start adding my zucchini in
Okay.
my squash.
Zucchini time.
And so now I've added those. Now I'm gonna start moving into my seasoning.
Oh, okay. Seasoning time.
La, la, la. Today's been kind of a busy day, but when I get a chance to this is a complete escape. You know, a complete escape.
Both Jamar and I have had a long day, but we're excited to be winding down here. Where we at, Jamar?
Okay, so I'm gonna start moving to the seasonings now. So the recipe calls for ground smoked paprika, turmeric, and then some cumin. Now on the recipe, you'll see that it calls for cumin to be used 2 times and salt. But we're gonna taste our food because everybody salts a little bit differently. Now with the what's going in our veggie mixture, which would be the filling for our tacos, is gonna be 1 tablespoon of smoked paprika, a half a teaspoon of cumin, and then 1/4 of turmeric.
Everybody have all those measurements?
And I can start over. And how's everybody doing? How's everybody's pot looking?
Everybody doing good? Yeah. Thumbs up. Everybody looking busy, giving thumbs up.
And so once you add the seasonings, you'll see your pot take on a whole different personality.
Nice. Once you add the seasoning from your palate.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And do feel free to unmute if you have any questions for
And
Jamar.
I always have a spoon because it's important to taste your food. Any type of recipe that I am following along with or anything, I am making sure that I'm sampling. So I have my spoons ready to go. So once I stir.
I thought it was so you wouldn't burn your finger like I always do.
Oh. And the cool thing about whenever we are building recipes and things, it's important to cook with your eyes. So whenever I'm cooking and looking at how the colors just have turned into it, well, I have to at least show you what my pot looks
like. Please. Let's have a look-see.
So this is what mine looks like.
Oh, nice. A lot going on in there.
Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know if everyone has sampled it, and you can start salting. I always have my salt on the side. It's this because I have to be in control when it comes to salt. Okay.
All right.
And typically, the folks that you are going to be serving will already salt their food, so you don't have to overly salt it. You just want to be able to taste it and then be like, okay, it needs a little bit more. I'll do that.
Cool.
Do you put your parsley in yet?
So once I've added my seasonings and it's at the right place, then I'm gonna add my parsley.
So not yet, Joanne.
Okay, thanks.
Mm. Mm.
Good stuff?
Good stuff. I'm gonna add a little bit more salt to mine.
All right. You might want to taste your mixture, see if you need a little more salt.
Mm. Okay. So I'm gonna reduce my heat on that and just let that saute.
You,
And now-
you simmering that one now?
Yes, I'm gonna reduce the heat completely because I still have my zucchini in there, and you see how we were able to, before I simmer, I'm gonna add my parsley as well. And I'm gonna give it a stir.
So add the parsley now.
And now I'm just gonna let it sit there. Now we're gonna move on into the second part of this, which is the topping of our tomatoes. We're gonna saute the tomatoes, and then we're gonna cook the rest of our onions as well. So first we're gonna
Nice.
start in our saucepan.
Get your saucepan
And my
out.
lovely frying pan. Let's start with a tablespoon of olive oil.
Put a tablespoon of olive oil in your saucepan.
And then I'm gonna add the rest of my onions to that. My pan was already hot, so once your oil gets a little hot, then you go ahead and add your onions.
I was gonna say, that was quick.
Do you hear the sizzling? And so what I use for my tomatoes, I ended up doing a dice, but they're pretty plump. But this is how small they are. They're not too small. They still have a little life to them.
Cool.
And Stacey, you see them?
Yep, she sees it. Thank you.
Okay. And so I'm sauteing my onions. And where's everybody at as far as there? Am I moving at a good pace? Do you feel like you're rushing a little bit?
Everybody doing good pace-wise?
Okay.
Looks like we're good.
Okay. Once the onions saute, then I am gonna start adding my tomatoes over in it. Then the recipe calls, remember the fourth of a teaspoon of cumin. I'm gonna add that to my tomatoes. So my tomatoes, my onions. So basically we have the fillings, and then this is what we're putting on top.
Did you say 1/4 of a teaspoon?
A fourth of a teaspoon.
Okay.
Sorry. I said it completely wrong. Thank you.
No, I think that's what you said. I just wanted to make sure I heard you right.
Hungry. I have ate oatmeal today, and then I had some yogurt. So this is right on time. And I did have a little salad, but this is like the highlight of my day. So thank you.
You need a meal.
Hey, this is what this is.
I know. Yogurt and oatmeal is not going to cut it.
No. Oh, well, you should try my oatmeal.
I think I should.
Hey.
What about grits? You have a grits recipe? I've been craving grits lately.
Oh, I make grits like nobody's business.
Oh, okay. You give me
I will
ideas
say
here.
that, you know what? It's an art to doing grits, but I learned how to make grits before I learned how to make rice.
Nice.
So yeah, and they gotta be cheese grits. So sometimes when talking about grits, so right now we're sauteing the onions, the tomatoes, we're letting those simmer. So our heat isn't so high up, but we're gonna let those simmer. And then the next thing that we're gonna do is start filling our pot. So as those are simmering, we're gonna start filling our pot, our second pot with water. Because what we're gonna do is we're gonna blanch the collard greens.
Oh, okay.
And this is literally like a 10, not even like a 5-minute blanch. It's like we drop them in boiling water and we pull them out and they go straight to cold water.
Cool.
So the cold water just completely shocks it and it stops the cooking process. Now back to grits. So
I start?
I like doing shrimps and grits. And I make like a gravy for it. Or, being from the South, we fry fish. And so doing fried fish and cheese grits and things like that. But yeah, I love grits.
Yum. We will talk later.
Yes, we will.
There's definitely more to discuss here.
Oh, that is a whole class. Okay.
I'm thinking we might have to do a breakfast for dinner one of these times.
Oh, you know what? Like a late brunch would be really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll have to come up with a good name. So we'll be thinking about that.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like some savory pancakes.
Oh, yeah.
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 So I'm simmering my tomatoes and my onions. I'm going to add a pinch of salt.
Add a pinch of salt.
Then I'm going to reduce those. So now we have tongs for our next thing.
So Jamar reduced the heat on his pan, right? Yeah, okay.
Reduce the heat on the tomatoes, and then you're going to start clearing out your space. And does everyone have their pot of boiling water on?
Does everybody have a pot of boil? Cool, cool.
Cool. Once it comes to a boil, everybody give me a thumbs up. So with me, cool. Stacey, how you doing? Okay. Once Stacey comes to a boil, then we'll be ready. Okay.
All right.
So the cool thing about this is when I first started cooking dinner, because this is my mom. I used to cook dinner every night when I starting out in middle school, and so sometimes I had the worst luck starting when I was learning how to cook was having everything finish at the same time.
That's my downfall.
So that is I think learning that and kind of like conquering that aspect to where you don't cook the long cooking stuff at the very beginning and things like that. So learning how to actually organize yourself when you're cooking and figuring out what's going to take the longest and then, So cool thing about this is we have the fillings already done. We already have our tomatoes simmering. The next thing to do is our tacos. Once we blanch those, drop them in some cold water, pull them out, we're ready to build our tacos. And then it's done.
Awesome.
So I have my collards and I cut the bottom of the stem off. Okay. So just imagine all the colors that you're cooking with paired with this.
Yum.
So, and I'm going to organize my stuff. So let me move this.
All right.
Hey, thank you. So my water is boiling.
All right.
I'm so excited.
I am too.
Okay, so.
I've never seen this done before.
And I have a plate to pull my collards out. So, and I actually put it on a long plate. I'm gonna line them up because the collards, so that way it kind of looks like buffet style almost.
Cool. Everybody got their collard greens ready?
Does anyone have any questions about prepping?
Any
Hi.
questions? Hey, Cindy.
Cindy, have you been with us this whole time?
No, she just logged on.
Okay. Do you have any questions?
You're muted, Cindy.
I think I got it. I just set up my iPad to do it so I could have a bigger picture. Mushrooms, just nothing done to them yet?
Oh, well, well, we've have almost all the ingredients done. We're just doing the collard greens right now.
Oh, well, all my stuff is, no, I always do my stuff beforehand.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you want to cut the mushrooms in thin slices.
Okay.
So now that
Alright.
you have those done, everything, 1 second, y'all. Okay, so
Cindy, you see that?
Cindy, do you see the camera? So you see how it is now. You're gonna slice those.
Okay.
And I will do a test slice so you'll see what it'll look like.
But then, Jamar, then you slice those really thin though, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, here we go, Cindy.
Your finished product, okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
So in one pot, you're gonna add olive oil, and let me know when you get to that point. Now for the rest of the class, we're at the point where we're gonna drop our collards in, and literally, we're gonna do this together and pull it out and then pop it in cold water and then go from there, okay?
Everybody ready for the collard greens?
I think I'm gonna watch the demo first and then do it.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Play it safe.
This can qualify as two.
That's a big one.
So I'm dropping it in there,
Okay.
and you'll see like the back side of the collard green turns. Okay. Literally.
Oh, you just put it in and take it out.
Yep, that's it. Stop the cooking process, drop it in the cold water, pull it out, and keep doing it, and repeat.
Everybody see that? He's putting it in the boiling water, then put it
And
in
I literally put it in there this side down, up, because how you will know that it's ready is that this side is gonna turn the same color as this side.
Oh, okay. Cool. These are the fastest taco shells I've ever seen made.
Okay. And you just keep going.
Awesome.
And you'll see as you put them in hot water, the side that isn't so green, they turn green.
Interesting. So the whitish side turns more of a green.
Yes, yes.
Awesome.
Okay. Take that.
Jamar, is that you, that voice?
Yeah. Sorry,
Thanks.
it was on a commercial break.
I had muted Cindy because I thought it was in her kitchen.
Oh no, that is in the co-op's test kitchen.
Gotcha.
Okay. Okay. Now, once that is done, have my tacos, and this is how it looks.
Here's an example of a taco shell.
And so I'm gonna put it in the inside. Yep.
Cool, thank you.
1 second.
Yeah, break those stems off, Cindy. Good job. Do you dry them off at all?
Yes, you can dry them off. I didn't, because I shake them.
Oh,
Whenever I
okay.
pull them out of the cold water, I shake them.
Gotcha.
Then, so when I am building them, I have them inside out, well, outside in, and then I am gonna start loading it up with my filling.
Nice. It's taco time.
Yes, it is. And then I have I'm gonna have to use this. Now my tomatoes that I sauteed.
Oh, right. Nice. Forgot about the sauteed tomatoes.
Right over the top. Oh. And then I just keep going. And so if the leaf is really big, you can cut it in half. Cindy, how are you doing as far as? Okay, so let's start. You get one pot, and let's start adding your olive oil to it, okay?
Go ahead and unmute, Cindy.
I have water in the pot with oil and it's trying to boil. And the pan, he said something about tomatoes.
Okay, so in your first pot, what you're gonna do is you don't put oil in the water. We'll start off from the very beginning, from the very top. So if you have the recipe called for 2 pots, the first pot that you're gonna pull out is you're only gonna be putting olive oil in it. So when you add your olive oil and that gets a little hot, what you're gonna first start off doing is adding your onions. You have 1 onion, but you're gonna evenly divide the onions so that way you can add just 1 half to this one, and then 1/2 is gonna go with your tomatoes. And you're not at the tomato part just yet.
Okay. So
It's delicious. And remember, everybody that is finishing, make sure that you take photos.
Oh, yes, definitely. Oh, Jamie, beautiful. Definitely send us a picture of those. Yes, please. You all should have my email in the registration reminders I sent out yesterday, or, the original link you got. Please email me the pictures so we can post them when we advertise the YouTube session.
So I started late. Is that what happened?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
It's okay.
Joanne said, sorry guys, but Steve and I cheated and used street taco shells, but they said very tasty.
Hey, the cool thing about this is you get to make it your own.
Yep. Eat it how you like it. Some of us need those carbs, right, Joanne?
And some of us don't.
Yes, and some of us don't, right. Nice. Good job. Send us a picture. We like all the pictures.
Okay, so Cindy, what you're gonna first add is your onions. So in your pot, you should have your olive oil. You're gonna add your onions. Once you saute your onions a little bit, and then we'll start getting into the other parts of the recipe, okay?
And Joelle has requested to see Jamar's finished product.
Okay.
Coming soon. Here he comes.
So this is mine.
Nice. Pick it up a little bit.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Cool.
Jamar, can you talk so that you're the one that
Yes.
screenshot?
Do you see me? Do you see it? Oh, that's up close and personal right there.
Oh, that looks so delicious. Oh, my Lord.
Good job.
So how
Thank you,
do I
sir.
cut the tomato?
So you're gonna dice them.
Okay.
Not too small, Cindy, though, like kind of like,
A medium chunk, because once you cook them down, once you cut them, they're gonna reduce. How's
Yeah.
yours looking, Jamie?
what was that, Jamar?
Jamie Doyle?
Ours are good. We just haven't rolled them yet. Are you rolling them up or are you just eating them open?
So I was gonna eat them open, but you can definitely roll them. You want me to show you how a rolled one would look?
Sure.
Okay,
Let's do it.
why not? Okay, so if I'm gonna roll it, you might have to cut the stem a little bit at the bottom.
Hey, Jamar, thank you so much for that recipe. That's really good. We're going to go ahead and take off and go eat
All right,
this.
thank you.
All right.
Thanks, you
Bye,
guys. Have a good night.
Thank you.
So if I was rolling mine, I tuck at the bottom.
Oh, nice.
So how I would do it is I would tuck it at the bottom. So you start at the very, I would say the other side versus where the stem is up here. Start at the other side where the leaves kind of curl.
Right.
Put your the filling in, fold at the end, and then wrap, and you are good to go. Dana, I love the thumbs up. Wait, I gotta.
Perfect.
So do I go ahead and add the tomato?
So no, what you're gonna do in the pot where the olive oil is, you're gonna
Olive
add
oil and onion?
olive oil, onion. Go ahead and start adding your tempeh. You're gonna slice your tempeh, add your tempeh to it.
Your tempeh is going to be sliced in like cubes, Cindy.
Yes.
Yeah, already.
Oh, excellent.
Okay. So you add that, and once you saute it, then you're gonna start adding. The next thing you will add is your bell peppers, and then after the bell peppers, you're gonna add the mushrooms.
Sorry, I was muted. Cynthia said, thank you, everyone. A great lesson, Jamar. Thanks, Cynthia.
Hey, thank you.
And this will be on the library's YouTube channel by early next week. I have tomorrow off, so it won't probably be Saturday or Monday, I'm hoping. So you can cook along at your own speed later as well.
I'm still going.
All right, Joelle, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
But they look great and they're going to eat.
They're delicious. Thank you, guys.
Hey,
David
thank
and I are going
you.
to cut out too. We'll see you
Thanks,
next
Joanne.
week or next month.
Bye.
Yes.
I'll send you.
Bye.
Jamar has promised to get me May's recipe in the next day or two. We'll see.
Oh,
But as soon as he gives it to me, you guys will be the first to know.
Okay, I got y'all.
looking forward.
Where you at, Cindy?
The tempeh it's browning, so I was gonna add in the,
So then what you're gonna do is you're gonna add in your bell peppers.
yeah.
Start adding in your bell peppers. And if you feel like your pan is getting dry at the bottom, feel free to add a little bit more olive oil.
Yeah, that's what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Just a tad. How'd yours come out, Stacy? Oh, she's leaving to take a photo and eat. Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate it, Stacy, as always. Good to see you. Hi, Christy. You joined us right as everybody's leaving to go eat, but let us know if you have any questions. Same with you, Mark. I know you joined a little late. If you guys have any questions,
Yes.
let us.
No shelf left behind.
No, Jamar and I don't believe in that.
So what comes after the red pepper?
So the red bell pepper,
Yeah,
So
what's after it?
you want to make sure everything is sauteed really good. Then the next thing that you'll be adding is your mushrooms.
So mushrooms after the pepper.
Mushrooms after the red bell peppers. And then after the red bell peppers, we're gonna go ahead and incorporate the not red, but the green onions. And then from the green onions, what we'll do is we'll add the zucchini. Zucchini is gonna be last because it requires the least cooking time.
Right.
And
Christy,
you can easily overcook zucchini.
Christy, I see you unmuted. Did you have a question?
No, I just hopped on here because I kind of forgot. And so I thought I'd see how you guys were doing. And evidently you're almost done.
Yeah,
Well,
and Cindy joined us a little late too, so we're just kind of helping her finish it
A
off.
lot
But,
late.
but we will have this on the library's YouTube channel by early next week if you want to check it out later.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Great. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for doing this. This is a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, every month.
When I get them on time.
This is our favorite program, right, Jamar?
Hey, yes it is.
And Wendy said, thank you, Jamar and Paul, a wonderful class. Thanks, Wendy.
Woo!
Always
Hey,
good to see you.
Thank you.
Always good to see you, especially with your Earth Day spring background.
That is Wendy's garden.
Oh, that's your, it looks like a picture.
Yeah, it is a picture, but it's a picture of her garden.
Oh, nice. That's beautiful.
Mhm.
Bye-bye. See you next month.
Bye.
All right. Have a good night, Wendy.
Thank you.
Okay, so Cindy,
Yeah,
now where are you at now? Have you added your mushrooms yet?
yeah, I just put them in.
Okay, you put your mushrooms in. Now the next thing you're gonna do is add your green onions. And do you know how much you already have those prepped?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, you can go ahead and add your green onions in.
I just put the mushrooms in.
Yep,
Yeah, that's fine.
put the mushrooms in, put the green onions in, and then hold off. You're gonna let those cook and let those saute, and then you'll be adding the zucchini. Okay? Well, it's fine.
Okay. And why do we have the extra onion? Where does
That's
the
for
extra-
the sauteed tomatoes.
Oh,
Yeah. Thank you.
yeah, I'm not a big onion person.
Okay, so if you don't want to use that much onion, it's perfectly fine. Okay.
Jamar,
So
I'm
once
sure
those
you wouldn't
saute-
mind if you need to eat a taco while we're.
I know they look. I'm like.
I know you
that's-
haven't
that's
eaten
the-
in a while.
Hey, how you doing? Good, good, good seeing you. Okay, so Cindy, once your mushrooms have sauteed, the green onions have been sauteed, now you're gonna
Yes.
add your zucchini.
Is that what you just put in there,
So
Cindy?
once you add your zucchini, do you already have?
Yeah, yeah.
I think she
put
just
it
put
in.
in there.
Okay. Okay. Then do you have the seasonings already measured out as well?
Um,
Take that.
Quarter of the turmeric.
So the recipe calls for
How much turmeric?
a fourth of a teaspoon of turmeric.
Yeah.
1/4 of a teaspoon.
Yeah. And a quarter of the cumin.
Yes. Well,
Same measurement?
no, it's gonna be a half.
Half a teaspoon of cumin?
Yeah, half a teaspoon of cumin. The other half is gonna go when you saute the tomatoes and the onion.
Well, yeah, but so then I should use the quarter.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Cindy.
That's okay.
Cindy, you're a pro. You are a pro.
You got this.
I've always wanted a gas stove because I used to have one, and I can't get it to go down low enough so I could cook on the back burner.
Mhm.
It would burn like crazy.
Yeah, I've been wrestling a gas stove for about 6 months now after never having one, and I can't get it to low heat either. I often have to turn stuff off instead of, leaving it on low.
Well, I have propane too, and that might have thrown them off. But I
Mm.
like a gas stove, but I guess it's not real PC. But okay. Okay, and then 1 teaspoon of the paprika.
It's a tablespoon.
Huh?
It's
1
a
tablespoon.
Yeah.
What now, Jamar?
Okay, so once you add those, go ahead and give it a stir, and then you're gonna taste it and see if it needs a little bit of salt.
I already put some salt in.
Oh, you already put salt in?
She's on it.
I mean, I don't really use salt when I'm cooking, except, but okay. That's fine.
Okay, there we go. So the next step is gonna be, in a frying pan, you're gonna put a little olive oil. You already got your frying pan?
No, little one.
I would say
Medium?
a medium, not a huge one.
Not huge and not tiny, maybe medium.
Right in the middle.
I got 2 sizes. So can I take that, the vegetables off?
You can reduce the heat.
Put it way low.
Yeah, and you
It's already on low.
Okay.
and then go ahead and put in your parsley as well.
Okay, that goes in there.
She wants to put some olive oil in the pan, right?
Yeah, you're gonna coat the bottom of the pan. And then once your olive oil gets a little heat to it, you're gonna add some of the rest of the onions. And I know you said you don't really care for onions, so you can add whatever amount you are comfortable with.
Cool. And just let us know where you're at and when you're ready for the next step.
Sure. And have you already cut up your tomatoes?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
She's like, oh yeah.
Like, I got this. I know this. It's like show up tardy for the party, but you are already good. You have everything good.
Well, I could never keep up if I didn't.
I'm with you, Cindy. I probably still couldn't keep up, but I'm the slowest
you
cook
still-
on earth.
I mean, like a year later, everybody is like, oh, I got this, you know.
Yeah, sometimes I'm amazed at how they follow along.
Right. It's like, and I'm thinking like, okay, well, am I moving a little too fast?
And my dog just came in here looking like, where's my dinner? I go,
Coming soon.
yeah.
So once your onions start sauteing, you're gonna go ahead and add your tomatoes to that. And you probably, once you add your tomatoes, go ahead and get a pot so that way you can go ahead and start boiling your water.
Boiling water for what?
You want a big pot to boil the collard greens in.
Oh, I already did that.
Oh.
Oh, okay. I think that's when she walked in.
Yes.
The virtual room, that is.
Yeah. I have gotten both of my shots now.
Me too, as of Sunday.
Oh, yeah, mine was last Friday, so.
Awesome. So Cindy's about done, right, Jamar?
Yeah.
Yeah. So once you have your things sauteed, your tomatoes and your onions, you're gonna prep your collard greens by cutting off the stem, and you're gonna literally dip the collard greens for a second. Wait for the you're gonna put it like, so say for instance, you know how the collard green curls up, right?
Yeah, but I already did those.
Oh, you
They're
already
sitting in cold water. Well, actually, they're laying out drying right now.
okay?
Oh,
So
great.
basically, you're making the filling. You've already got the topping. The collard greens are gonna be your taco shells.
Yeah.
So you start putting the filling first, and then you put the tomatoes on top.
Okay.
And there you go.
All
Then you
right.
take a picture and send it to us.
All right.
Yeah.
So, and there's cumin in with the tomatoes and.
Yeah. So that's when you put your cumin in, and I did like a sprinkle of salt. You don't need it.
Okay.
You can always salt later.
Yeah.
There has already been a suggestion to make shrimp and grits.
Shrimp what?
There's already been a message about cooking shrimp and grit.
Oh, nice. I almost got even more excited because I thought you said shrimp etouffee.
Oh, I make, okay, so shrimp etouffee, but it's always crawfish etouffee.
Oh, that's right. It has to be crawfish. I forgot.
Crawfish etouffee, yeah, I make that too.
All right, then I guess I'm good to go, huh?
Yes. How is everybody else?
Mark, Steve, and Linda, are you guys still there?
Just a straggler.
No comment. I think they're either not there or they're good.
Okay, okay. Hey, Cindy, thank you for showing in and at the right time.
Yeah.
And it's so amazing. I mean, I remember the first time we were cooking together, you know, and now to see you like, I got it. You know, that's really awesome.
Cool. Thanks, Mark.
Thanks.
Mark said he's
And thank
good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cindy.
All right.
Hey, and
I'm
we're
gonna go enjoy.
Awesome job. Send us a pic.
I will.
Hey, good
Appreciate
job.
that.